What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Nick Bartel, editor-in-chief for technowarriorstv, and welcome to another amazing audio interview. But ladies and gentlemen, this interview is a little different. Today, we are interviewing the CEO of Saturn Aerospace. It is a virtual aerospace company that actually use Kerbal Space Program as their simulator platform, and they actually do actual, you know, missions, kind of like what SpaceX would do, but it's their own. It's their own type of company. I'm here with the CEO of Saturn Aerospace, Quasi. He goes by the name Quasi on Discord, and he's going to tell you all about what they do. And they actually have some really cool projects in the works. They just did a launch not too long ago on one of their rockets. It's a heavy lift type rocket, similar to the Falcon Heavy. And he's going to tell you all about that, including their new rocket, which is coming soon, which is going to be their super duper heavy lifter. So without further ado, take it away.
Hello, I'm Quasi. I am one of the owners of Saturn Aerospace, and of course, we are a virtual space company that programs our rockets, and we've never done a launch without programming it. If you're ever watching our videos, nothing you see on the videos are hand flown. It's all flown through software, and our software base is on the order of about 10,000 lines. If we mix all the rockets together and put our code there. So we have a few rockets, and each of them serve their own purpose, but of course our code base is entirely huge, and it helps us do what we do. And we're trying to set some big goals this year, so we've done about almost 40 launches this year alone, about 50 in total. So this year we've set a record, and we also have the record for most launches launched under a software platform on YouTube.
That is awesome. So, you guys, where are you guys based out of?
We're based out of Newquay in the UK. It's in Cornwall. Not many people from the US might have heard of it, but it's a cool little place where they launched the Virgin rocket, which was the Stratolaunch sort of thing off the 747. They launched out of Newquay, and that's also our space hub as well.
Oh, that is so cool. Now, they just recently did a launch through, you know, through their space company, and it was a one Keb Mission 6, and it launched on it launched on one of their rockets. And so, tell me about your guys' launch vehicles and what you got.
So mainly first, I'll go in order of when we started. We started with Phoebe, which is a reusable rocket, and we can reuse the first stage. And it basically it's just a medium lifter, two Earth orbits and stuff. And then we introduced for Phoebe Heavy, which has three first stages of Phoebe, and those first three boosters land, and it's quite cool to watch actually. Then we had Rhea, which is our upcoming interplanetary launch vehicle, so we can go to Mars and anywhere in the solar system. And we also have Hyperion, which my good friend Osha is currently working on to get ready for its return to launch flight coming up within the next few months.
So, tell me a little about Hyperion and Rhea.
Okay, so I'll start with Hyperion. My friend Osha here is working on it, but it's a Stratolaunch vehicle, so we drop it from a plane at around 20,000 or 20 kilometers, and it will release the rocket, and that reduces the need for engines at a lower altitude, which means we use less fuel getting through the denser part of Earth. And Hyperion is simply a small sat launcher, so that we don't have to launch Phoebe just for small satellites. And also, Rhea is our biggest rocket. It's about 70 meters tall. Sorry, actually about 100 meters tallish. And it's designed to be reusable on both stages. And we can land the first stage using grabbers, and we can also land the second stage, or the ship, with of course, the belly flop maneuver.
So, it's kind of your guys' take on the Starship Super Heavy.
Yeah, basically, the Phoebe and Rhea are basically fairly similar to SpaceX's vehicles, and that's mainly because we tried to find other designs that were reusable, but all of them ended up looking like Falcon 9, because it's such a good design in the first place. So we tried to make it original, and that's what Hyperion is. But of course, originality is quite hard within the space industry.
Yeah, I know, and I'm sure. And I'm sure. How did the first launch vehicle go when you guys did? Did it go okay, or did you guys have failures?
So initially we had quite a few failures. We even tried to launch a vehicle called Talon. Talon didn't go far, but we started off small. But it wasn't amazing. There weren't many good landings, but eventually we got to it, and the landings were incredible after a while.
Oh, that's
Our
awesome.
oldest launch for Saturn Aerospace was, of course, NROL 32, when we rebranded from Elixir to Saturn.
So, and so you guys, what is your guys' opinion on Kerbal Space Program at this moment? Will you guys, do you think Kerbal Space Program 2 is a complete failure?
At the moment, yes, I still want to say that I've got hope for it, but at the moment, I don't have any hope for it whatsoever, and I think it's the biggest game flop in history
You
because
would think
it's
it's even
simply
bigger
just
than you do think it's bigger than the if you remember Fallout 76, what a failure that was.
yeah, that was bad. That was really bad. But the one thing that bothered me is how they didn't even have half the parts that they did in Kerbal Space Program 1.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean that
and
is
it
just
took them three
absolutely
years,
ridiculous.
5 years even.
Yeah, and I was getting ready to fixing to do a Let's Play video. You could check out some of our Let's Play videos on our brand new channel, Techno Warriors TV Plays One Word, and that's a brand new gaming channel. It's because we've separated all of our gaming content into its own channel. So it's not everything's not discombobulated and everything. So yeah, it's its own channel. Um, Now we are thinking of bringing, you know, we are thinking of bringing some of the shorts back, but I'll be talking to people and getting their opinion about it. But yeah, it'll be we might bring some of those YouTube shorts from the gaming channel to the main channel, but mainly everything's going to stay on that channel. We do have one gaming video which was really cool, and I hear you guys do Flight Simulator, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020.
Yeah, it's not directly related to Saturn Aerospace, but we are starting to run a virtual airline for 2024, so
Oh,
that's
that's
going to be
so
a bit of a fun
cool.
project.
Um,
Yeah, it's quite enjoyable.
Now, do you have any new launches? So, like, tell me about what you guys are doing in the future. Tell me about your team members. Or is any of your team members on that they could actually introduce themselves?
Not at the moment because we're all mainly American. It's just me and Osha at the moment. So sorry about that. But the main team members we have on our careers page. So we have Artemis, me, Eve, and Forge. And
Okay.
then we have people like Osha, Julius. Then we have our other mission controllers such as, let's see, Eve. Sorry, I've spoken about Eve. Matt, Striker, Darkstar, J Trains, Nati, and a few others. Of course, we have a great team that works. Most of us have been here since we started, which was about 3 years ago. We started under different names. It was way back, about 3 years ago now. So we've all known each other for that long. And me and Osha, Osha's in the chat actually. Me and him go pretty much the furthest back out of any of the people in this Discord, which is very very nice. And we've always been working on these companies together.
Oh, that's awesome! Let's go. Now, what's your next launches you guys have planned that people can watch?
Yeah, so we have a few Phoebe Heavy missions coming up, which was cool. We have tomorrow actually for our presentation. We have Proxima 2, which is a Phoebe Heavy launch from Pad 39A. And we're going to try to reuse all three boosters and return them to the launch site, which will be an epic sight to see. And then we have coming up in the next few weeks Oxford 2, which is our crude tourism missions. So if you want to get on that, you can actually book it today through our booking system on our website.
Oh, that'd be
But you
awesome.
can, there's the crew mission, and then we also have a couple more crewed missions coming up. And then for January next year, we even have a rear orbital flight test, the second one, because the first one actually did not make it into orbit.
Oh, wow. with your first. So tell me about your Rhea first flight test. What happened with that?
So Rhea got off the pad. We were incredibly excited, and we did not expect it to happen. We had about 20 people watching. It was incredible. But Rhea, we got into a suborbital trajectory, and we got to main engine cutoff to where we did the flip. We let go of the top stage. I'll also just put a premise out. We call the bottom stage Iapetus and the top stage Rhea. And we also call them stage Alpha and stage Bravo. But stage Bravo did not ignite the engines. And I can't remember what the exact reason of it was. Let me just have a look, see if I can find it. Oh, yes, okay. It was... I can't find it. Oh, well, doesn't matter. But we didn't make it into orbit, and I think it was to do with the tier 10.
Now, tell me about the engines you guys use on it.
We use our in-house Europa V2 engines. We use Europa V1 engines on Phoebe, which is our normal rocket and our main operations rocket. But of course, after lots of working on the engines and trying it all out, we use a improved engine on board Rhea. We have about 33 engines on the bottom of first stage of those Europa V2 engines, compared to 9 on Phoebe, which is incredible. And then we have 3 Europa V2 engines in the second stage and 3 vacuum Europa engines as well.
So, like made for space travel.
Yeah, pretty much. We don't use the sea level engines on the vacuum unless we're entering a planet with an atmosphere or unless we are landing back on Earth. We use a vacuum engine, not primarily.
So, do you currently operate 32 engines or mainly 33?
I think it's 33 or 29. I can't remember exactly, but the teams, if you want to get specifics, I think Eve knows. Let me just ask Eve, and we can go back to it.
Bet.
Okay, I've asked him how many engines are on stage 1 for the next test, and I think it will be about 29, 33, maybe. We'll see.
I think 32 is a good number.
Yeah, 32 is a good number.
So, how many? If you were to run 32 engines, how much thrust are you producing?
Off the top of my head, I cannot remember. I believe it's too much. Too much thrust.
So we're probably around 30 million pounds of thrust, 40 million pounds of thrust.
Probably. I'm not 100% sure, my friend.
How? What? How?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Oh, sorry. By the way, it's like 7 a.m. and I got up at like 5:30,
Okay.
guys, for this interview. Like hashtag, work life. So how many like things went wrong there? Like, what caused it not to ignite? Was the engine bad or something?
The engines weren't bad. It was just the engine ignition stuff. So the engines wouldn't ignite because the engine ignition fluid hadn't been, or there'd been a leak or something. I believe it was.
No.
All the engine. So we couldn't actually ignite the engines. We tried to multiple times, but the engines didn't ignite, and we decided to
separate from the booster?
Yeah, we were able to separate it. You can actually watch the video. We started the flip maneuver and then separated it, but at that point, both stages failed to do their intended jobs.
And ladies and gentlemen, we'll actually have the video of that test flight in the link in the description, where you can actually watch that. It's really, really cool. And then, do you think that you will see how many? Do you think you'll see like a full 7 crew mission in your guys' Phoebe rocket? Like, what do you guys call your crew module?
We only have 4 seats on board the Calypso module.
The Calypso module? That's cool. Is it like akin to like the Crew Dragon from SpaceX?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh wow! So it's kind of like a clone.
Yeah.
That's because
I'm trying to see if our Rhea lead wants to join the voice chat. So just give me a sec, and he can tell you. He told me that the engines on the next launch will be 33. But no, he can't join us, unfortunately. But yeah, 33 engines on the next Rhea test.
Awesome. Now, and hopefully you guys can get into orbit this time.
Yeah, hopefully.
Do you think you guys will do a crewed lunar mission with the new Aurora? What is it called again?
Rhea,
Rhea.
Rhea, yeah.
Are you planning to do a crewed mission with Rhea?
As soon as it's in a healthy state and we've launched a few missions on it so that we know it's good, we'll start testing the crewed variant of the rocket and then begin crewed tests and then begin a crewed flight.
So, what do you think of the escape system? What are you guys going to do in case of an emergency?
In case of an emergency, we'll have a jettison system and the abort motors on the stage Bravo will fire. And we will get to that, and we're working on a solution, but at the moment I can't tell you much about that because it's top secret.
Okay,
But we
okay.
are working on it, but it's to do with the motors and stuff, shutting down stage one and that sort of thing.
So, like, there's not actually an a launch abort system for the actual Aurora rocket. Like, the top stage, the
Yeah, well, basically, we'll have it in a state where it's so safe you won't even need one. Uh,
seriously?
and it'll, yeah, we'll have it there. We'll have a backup, but it'll be so safe that we won't need one. The code, the software for it, it does anything. If something even remotely goes like 0.0001 out of range, it will automatically know and fix it. The rocket is
Like, if it even
incredibly
sneezes,
accurate.
if it even
Like compared
sneezes,
to
it
Phoebe,
knows.
it's incredible. Yeah, you could sneeze, and the rocket would know that it's like a millimeter off track, so it would go back.
Oh my god, that is so crazy.
It's we worked so hard on Rhea, and props to our chief technical officer and Rhea lead Eve. He's done a great job on the rocket and just getting it to the point of launching. I mean, you can see we've tested it so much. We've tested the landings, the launches, and everything, and it's just at a perfect state.
So yeah, I'd like to thank everybody for joining, this meeting, this little interview. A big shout out to Julius, Osha. A big shout out to everyone on the team, including Quasi, the CEO. Um, do you guys have a flight director for your mission control team? Like, do you guys do it how NASA does it, or like do you
Yeah, we,
guys?
we, we have four roles. So we have launch director, we have range, then we have propellant and propulsion. Propulsion is with us, OSHA. He can do propulsion and propellant at the same time, and then range is usually someone like Striker, and LD is usually, let's say, Artemis.
Oh, that's so cool. Now, can you fit more than four people in Phoebe's and Eclipso's capsule, or does it only made for four?
It can only do four at the moment,
Do you plan on adding more seats? Kind of like a Kingdom
and not
Space
at the
Shuttle?
moment. We're waiting for Rhea to do that.
Oh, so Eclipso is kind of like the ride to the space station type thing.
Yep.
Do you plan to put a space station into orbit using
We already have.
Oh my god, that's awesome! What's its name?
Yeah.
Like, tell me. Are you able to tell me about the station?
We have Station Freedom. It hasn't been used for a while, but it is up there and it is still completing tasks and relaying us data. Station Freedom was initially used on the first ever Saturn missions, really, but since then we haven't really used it.
Awesome. Well, where can people reach you guys? I mean, check
Uh,
everything
we
out,
have
reach you and
lots of different
everything.
socials. Yeah, we have Discord, of course. I'm sure he'll link it in the description. We have our website, which is www.saturnaero.space, and I'll link that as well in the description. And there's Twitter, Instagram, and of course our YouTube page.
Yeah, and like, I'm really excited for you guys' future. A big shout out to everyone on the team. Um,
Yeah,
that's
it's a great era for us as well because we're just getting into that point where we're launching more. We have lots of payloads and lots of people that are interested in the space community. And we're happy to be one of the greats within that.
Do you think you guys will like what? So, question: do you think you will develop the your guys' in-house engine to be just as powerful as the Rocketdyne F1?
I don't think it'll be as powerful as the F1 engine, but combined, all of them will be far more powerful.
So it will even make SLS cry.
Well, yeah, obviously, Rhea is the powerhouse, the most powerful rocket in the world.
Oh my
So
god.
there's no fighting it. You're gonna have to bring the big guns if you want to get to Mars.
So you would do like even if you did a lunar mission, like how NASA's doing their Artemis missions, you're using SLS to go up to Starship. Will you guys use something similar like that, or are you just going to use Aurora alone?
We're gonna use Rhea alone. Just put the crew on Rhea and then send it.
Oh,
Pretty
that's so
much.
awesome! No one knowing SLS because guess what? That thing is so overpriced, and it's like
Yeah.
it is so yeah. I mean, sorry for getting off topic, but
Oh, it's okay.
why? It's like, dude, I like that you guys are using your RIA launcher instead of having to rely on NASA to do everything for you. Now,
Yeah, it's much more handy having everything done ourselves.
well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching this awesome audio interview. Now, remember, this is an audio interview, so no cameras that are going right now in this little in the Discord in this interview. Normally, we do a video interview, but this is an audio interview, so it's just us talking. What I kind of want to do, and we'll have another video with these guys, and what I would love to do is actually, be there in a live stream for a hot fire test.
We can even get you in for a launch one day, hopefully. You can book your own payload and stuff, and we can get that all sorted. And anyone in his channel looking to book a payload can do it right now. Go over to our website and book on board Phoebe.
Yeah, and it'd be really cool just to, do a virtual coverage of a launch.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you like this video, you know what to do. You hit the like button if you like this video, hit the dislike button if you did not like this video. And if you adored this video, all you have to do is strangle that subscribe button, slap that like button in the face, and pow, right in the kisser. A really awesome job from everybody at Saturn Aerospace. Big shout out to everyone throughout the years. We are almost to 5K subscribers. And remember, we do have our secondary channel, which is our gaming channel, which is Techno Warriors TV Plays. So go ahead and check out all the fun gaming YouTube shorts over there. And that's where our Fortnite content will be. So make sure to go over there and subscribe because we gotta get those. We gotta get that subscriber count up on the new channel. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really excited to let you know that we have a lot of cool stuff coming in the future. The gaming channel is going to get big. We got more interviews coming. We have more product reviews coming in the future. So make sure you stay tuned to Techno Warriors TV and make sure to subscribe. We are putting out some real bangers coming out soon, especially with the Skull Candy Dime 3 review and unboxing and the Skull Candy Smoking Bud Wireless. That's right. Skull Candy Smoking Buds have gone truly wireless, so make sure you check that out coming soon. A big shout out to everyone, including some fans that we have, including Riker and Ezra, Carl Scales. We also have Mackie as well. Big shout out to him. Also, I want to give a big shout out to everyone, including our sponsor for today's video, Ivory Coffee Teas and Bobas, located in Holland, Mexico, and White Sands Missile Range. You can check out the Techno Warriors TV Boba, loaded with 728 milligrams of caffeine. It is ridiculously powerful, just like the Rhea rocket that Saturn Aerospace is coming out with. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much. Big shout out to everyone on the team at Saturn Aerospace, and we will see you in the next video.